going?
We are back. So Mr. Gary just taught a fire class.
It was a good class, man.
Yeah,
I had good help.
Yeah, you had Esperanza, Miss Esperanza.
Esperanza just stepped up, dude.
Dude, she's a beast.
She's ready to teach.
Yeah, she is a beast.
She's ready to handle like class on her own.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now, honestly, we're just doubling and tripling up on the mat because we have the team to do it.
But you can tell the difference between somebody who's seasoned, like from her previous job.
Yeah.
And Tom's a great guy, and you could tell she just alpha dogged him right off the mat, like to the side.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you know this, or maybe I shouldn't even be saying it, but she used to be a drill sergeant.
Right. No, I knew. Yeah. I know exactly. But
being a drill sergeant, I mean, it's just kind of self-explanatory.
But dude, she's like this tall.
Yeah, she's like this big.
And she barks orders.
She
and you're
does
like,
not mess around.
Okay,
yep. Yeah, she doesn't mess around. Anyways, so we were talking about.
She's like a perfect match for Brett.
Hey, how do you feel after like you teach a class? Do you like pumped up or you get tired?
A little bit of both. So right now I'm still pumped up, a lot of energy. It was good energy because I had good help. I feed off of Tommy and Tom crack jokes. And Esperanza's all energy. Yeah. And so I have energy. I'm good right now.
Thomas or Tom Klaczynski?
Klaczynski.
Big boy.
Big Tom.
Actually, they're both big Toms.
Yeah.
Both of them are.
But I get along well with Tom. I've known him forever, so it's like,
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
So we were talking about teachers, and then so you finished off with
Mr. Lopez is his name.
Yeah. So the Latino teacher that I had that I'm not too fond of, or wasn't too fond of, I should say.
He was like stand and deliver or what?
Dude, he's the reason why I had to move from the school district that I was in when I was in Commerce. So Commerce, the city of Commerce is in LA County, and they're right next to Montebello. They're right next to just the whole LA scene, right? They're just East LA kind of area and all that, right? There's a city called Bell Gardens. There's a school there named Suva. Honestly, like, I don't know how it is now. I'm sure it's great. But when I went there...
It's Bell Gardens, dude.
It was straight up like a jail, man.
It's Bell Gardens.
Straight up. Like, I had mentioned it before. There was like A, B, C, D, and E track. That's a lot of students, dude.
Yeah, that's an overcrowded school.
Yeah, right? Overcrowded school. The gates were like 20 foot high with barbed wire on them. There's fights all the time. Like straight up, just going up to your class because there was this building. Right, so there's these buildings that were like college size. So if you wanted, so you're a kid, right? You're like.
This is high school?
No, this is middle school, dude.
Oh, geez.
So it was like 5th grade all the way, and
like
all the way to
middle school. Then.
Yeah, it was 5th grade through 8th grade.
Yeah, probably 8th.
Oh, I'm sorry, fourth or 5th grade to 8th grade.
It's usually
so it's like you're a really little kid, or you're like
there's extremes.
Yeah, it's an extreme.
Yeah, there's extremes.
And so like there's fights all the time. There's people getting punked, backpacks being taken, shoes being taken.
Yeah.
People getting punched for no reason. Just it wasn't a good school, but I was getting good grades there, and there were some amazing teachers there that I had the privilege of learning under. This particular one though gave me a notice that I had to give to my parents, right? And I was like, well, what's this for, dude? Like.
He was putting the pressure on you.
I was
or
like,
what?
dude, I get good grades here. Like, you got nothing to say.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean I want to talk to your parents, right? So I was kind of like annoyed, and I didn't really care for him, you know. And his class was normal, whatever. It was just, And then so, anyways, I gave the notice to my parents. My father called the teacher, and the teacher said, "Hey, listen, I was wondering if you can come in, or we can just do it over the phone." My dad's like, "No, my dad's a face-to-face kind of guy." And my dad's like, "No, I'll meet you. I'll go there tomorrow after work. I'll get out early and I'll pick him up and I'll talk to you."
He was like getting ready.
I was like, "What's going on, dude?"
Your dad was like, "What did you do?"
Well, straight up, like I'm thinking the whole time, like whatever. Like I don't know what's going on because like my grades are awesome. I have an A in this class, whatever, So the next day comes, my dad shows up. I'm waiting for him. I walk him over to the classroom and I say, "Oh, whatever, the teacher. This is my dad." And my dad starts talking to him. So I'm just like sitting there while my dad's talking to him. And the teacher goes, "Well, hey, listen, I mean, Junior," they call me Junior. My family calls me Junior. Junior is doing really well in class. Like, I have nothing bad to say about him. But what I wanted to tell you, and it's a really big concern, is the kids he hangs out with, is like are not the type of kid that he is. And then my dad's like, okay, like what do you mean?
Oh man, he separated you from your friends, dude.
I was rolling deep already, man. I had like 20 by my side on each side.
That's how it was in
like I was a good kid. I was getting good grades, and I was rolling deep, man. Like I was like popular, like I was cool, like everybody had my back, man. Like, and so he tells my dad, he goes, listen, I'll give you an example. He goes, I've called some of those other parents. You're the only one that called me back. I sent out a notice. You're the only one that called me back. He's like, you're the only one that cares about where your child goes. He's like, so it hurts me a lot to say this. You need to get him out of this district. And my dad was
wow.
My dad was like, what?
That's a good teacher, dude.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
I get it now.
Yeah, I love that guy for that now.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of love and respect for him. But at the time, I was so upset and distraught. And it was a traumatic moment for me. Because I'm like, my mind at that time couldn't comprehend, hey, dude, I'm getting straight A's. My citizenship is good. I'm doing everything right, and then I feel like I'm getting punished. Although it wasn't a punishment. I mean, it was what I needed.
Yeah. It was more of like a push than a punishment.
Exactly. And then my father and I have this conversation. I talked to my mom about it too, and we laugh about it because they remember how like pissed I was. Like I was really upset about it.
I can imagine, dude. That's the age. Middle school is the age where you probably have your best bonded group of people.
I felt like I was like finding my friends.
You definitely bond with people right around that age. I same kind of thing. I was in middle school and I hung out with some of my closest friends till this day. And my mom, when high school came, you ain't going to high school with them.
Yeah, man, that's tough.
And she took me out and sent me to another high school.
And so my dad took it so far. Like he really.
He took it to heart, huh?
He took it to heart so much so that he bought that house in Santa Fe Springs, remodeled it, and we ended up moving over there and took me completely away from the school district.
Wow. Hey, that's good for your dad, though, to recognize that somebody was...
It's cool, man. I'm grateful for it. Listen, I'm grateful for it, but it's still like, even right now, it bothers me. It's like, dude.
Even to this day, right?
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. And then, all those people, there were some cool people there. I still remember a lot of people from there. And every now and then when I pass by there, because I still drive through LA a lot. Every now and then when I pass by there, I kind of pass by like the old houses and see if I see someone or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Every now and then I see someone, I'll say what's up or whatever. And it's cool. I mean, listen, we're here.
Yeah.
This was meant to be. But it still doesn't take away from the fact that it took a brave teacher to step up and be like, hey, Abel Senior, if you don't do this, your son's gonna go a totally different route. And he said, as much as it hurts me, my dad tells the story better. He says, yeah, the teacher literally was like, as much as this hurts me, because I love him in my class. He's like, I got to tell you to do this.
Wow.
He's like, or
the school probably didn't appreciate that.
Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, I think he talked to my dad and that was it. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And it happened pretty fast after that. It happened like within a month or two. My dad just said, let's do this. We're not that okay. Like he took it. He took the warning seriously.
That's a good guy. I mean, you look at it now, and it is.
Dude, that's a big change, man.
It is a big change. Yeah.
So anyway, those feelings towards that teacher, but now it's like I'm a grown up, dude. I would love for a teacher, like if a teacher saw that there was some harm that can come to my child, and I can make a difference by just making a switch. I mean, I know it sounds like but I mean, there's still power that you can make that decision. You want to make that change or not? It's up to you. But I would love to hear from a teacher that cared that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if Jimena or baby Luca, let me know and I'll make that change.
That sounds like a teacher who cares.
Yeah, dude.
But probably cared about his job.
Yeah, and he was hard on us, man. But now I understand why he did it. He saw maybe some potential. He saw something.
Who knows? He was probably from the area. Probably grew up there.
And he was probably like,
these
guys get.
I see where this is going, and you can see potential, dude. And when you see potential, it's like.
So my hat's off, man.
Dude, it's like Bronx Tell. Biggest waste is wasted talent.
Yep.
You could have been wasted talent.
Could have been a contender.
You could have been a vato loco.
Yeah, it could have been a vato loco, man. I mean,
doing some hard time.
Hey, listen,
still in rooms.
I still got some connections and friendships, that I don't ask what
deep rooted.
Yeah, I don't ask what they do or nothing like that. But listen,
that's funny. I got a lot of connections like that still. People.
But I like to hang out on the other side of the town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like to sleep comfortable at night.
I have that. I have a couple friends that have done a little time, but I also have friends. Same group of friends that I have. Like, we walk the line so much that I have friends that were cops, like in the neighborhood I grew up in, or had done some time or whatever. But I know what you mean. It's just everybody kind of goes their direction, and you see them, and it's still fun to see them. They're still good guys. Dude.
Yeah, man. It's funny because maybe like 10 years ago, I drove by. I told you I drive by every now and then, and I was driving by. I don't know if you guys have seen the other episodes, but I talk about going to the AM/PM where I stole some gum and some other stuff or something like that. My dad made me walk back and apologize and tell him that I had stolen something. Anyways, I was going down the neighborhood where I grew up, and I was about to get to the AM/PM from that story, and I got stopped in the red light, and there was a lot of traffic, and I see a guy jaywalking, and I was like, dude, I know that guy. And I was like, oh, dude, Bobby. I rolled down my windows. Bobby, what's up, man? And he goes, he kind of slowed down because he was running across the street, right? There's a lot of traffic. He kind of slowed down. He goes, Abel, what's up, man? Dude, I haven't seen you forever. Where did you go? It had pot. So I left, and I never told them that I was leaving. I never told any of my friends. They literally picked me up and took me, dude. I didn't even have it.
That's funny that you still.
And
see
they probably,
there.
I'm thinking about it, and they probably did that on purpose so that I wouldn't have those connections still. They literally just took me out of that school district. I left, and that was it.
So imagine how you felt there. And when I was a kid, I got bused, dude. And I was part of that busing program in Orange County. It was a notorious thing, and it was kind of racially, something that they said, that's why they stopped doing it. Because when I was growing up, we lived in apartments. And in Orange County, anybody who was in apartments in the 80s got bussed because they were closing down schools and making schools smaller. So I got bussed, and I got bussed 7 different times until I was in the 5th grade. 7 times till I was in the 5th grade. Think about that. That's 10 years old, 11 years old. And then I met my best friend in the 5th grade, dude. We're both little jerks. And this is how I met my best friend in the 5th grade, dude. So they were like, Gary's going to have to go to remedial English. He's not doing anything. He's not really picking it up, He's going to have to go.
So hold on. You couldn't speak Spanish because you don't speak Spanish.
I don't speak Spanish, dude. I speak horrible English.
And you couldn't speak English either, man. Come on.
And so, I was just a kid that did. And I know now, after going through all this therapy and stuff, that I had this ADD and a little bit of a learning disability, that I didn't just pick things up, dude. And it didn't help that I moved 7 times. And one time, I was in the 4th grade. But I was in a combo class, and they thought I was a 5th grader, so I was doing homework.
Jeez.
And I had no clue that, the school system failed me that year, because they didn't find out till almost.
So they didn't know that you didn't know some of the, or
any
of the stuff.
They're just like, how come this kid's an idiot? and I'm looking at the paper
what is this? I've never seen it.
It looked like Japanese, dude. I was like,
hieroglyphics.
Yeah. And my mom.
Wait, so so you should have been at a lower grade because of your age and all that.
Yeah,
but somehow they messed up.
Paperwork or whatever, and
paperwork messed up.
And I moved. This was the closest school to my house. Finally, to my grandmother's house, and I was like, perfect school. I'm with kids in my own neighborhood, and I know. And my mom was so mad. She moved me out, sent me to this other place. So I had to go to remedial English. And this other kid who's sitting in there, and everybody's telling me, dude, that's Carlos, dude. Don't mess with that guy. He's a bad dude. He's, you don't want to mess with that kid. He's a bad egg, dude. I get in there, and I look at him, and he looks at me, and he kind of gives me but it's just me and him in this remedial class, dude. We have to go there every day.
So you have to get to know him.
So we got to know each other. And And this is how I broke the ice, dude.
You're like Forrest Gump and Bubba.
This is how I broke the ice, dude. So the teacher, Miss Kelly, she's a good lady, super good lady, but I knew she was a lesbian. And I was looking at him, I was like...
You knew when you were that young?
Oh, dude, she had a flat top. And
yeah, but I didn't know any of that stuff till I was like older. I was like a kid. I was like a kid.
I also had an aunt that lived with me who was very much out, and I knew.
You saw some similarities.
I saw a lot of that, dude. I had cousins who were gay, and anyways. But I knew that, hey man, I knew what a bull dyke was. Like, I mean, it sounds bad. I'm sorry for my lesbian friends.
I don't even know what the term is.
It's just a lady who's a lesbian who's like really manly.
Oh, okay.
And I told
I've
him,
never heard that term.
Yeah, and I told him, I said, $5 says she's a bull dyke. And he looked at me, and he just started cracking up. And I didn't
how old were you?
We were 11, 12.
You guys were kids.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. But he already had like a little mustache.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like
dude, kids at that age growing mustache, dude, you know they're a bad kid. Or if they have a gold or silver tooth, dude.
Well, that's what it was.
Stay away from him.
He grew up really
probably grew up fast.
fast. So people treated him like he was a big kid.
But he was a kid.
He was a kid.
Yeah.
And he
that
started
sucks, dude.
busting up. And I said, I'm just kidding. She's cool, huh? And he was like, yeah. And,
was she a cool teacher?
Yeah, she was super cool. She knew I knew because I just...
But she's cool.
No, she was cool. She was one of my favorites. And we got to know each other that way. But then my mom recognized that I got really close. That's whose dad, his Carlos Senior, my mom was like, oh, cool. They get along. Can he just go over after school? Because I'm working and whatever. I would go over after school. And he was the one, he was an ex-Green Beret, who was ex-military, who was from Costa Rica, but came to the United States and did time in the Marines. And he's the one who used to be like, he's the one who cracked my egg and got me out of my shell. He was like, because I get bullied, dude. And he would tell me, don't take that shit. Don't. Heavy accent, Costa Rican accent. Come here. Somebody does that. So, dude, I got taught wrestling.
That's crazy.
Yeah. In the backyard.
Alex?
Carlos.
Oh, Carlos.
Carlos Senior, Carlos Junior. Then their nephew was Carlos Junior the third, and Carlos. They had like 5 Carloses, dude, in their family. It was really fun. Yeah, and they all had nicknames.
The reason why, I think the reason why I said Alex is because we had a Carlos, also, but his name was Alex.
Yeah.
And I don't know what ended up being his future or whatever, but he was the bad kid, man. Everybody was just like, dude, stay away from that guy. And yeah, he was he was cool with me, but he always wanted to fight.
Dude.
He always wanted to like do stuff. He always wanted to like pull like a chair, like if someone was sitting for no reason, dude, he would just pull a chair from under you.
Yeah.
Or he'd like cuss in class. He didn't care if he got kicked out of class.
Dude,
and
my buddy Carlos though was like my blood brother, dude.
Yeah.
We were like this, dude, for like.
But he ended up really
2.5
turning out
years.
really well, right? I mean, like you said.
He did. He was LAPD for a while. But there was a lot of drama back in the 90s in LAPD. So now he runs big construction crews and stuff like that.
Right.
But like, yeah. So
I mean, look, like I said,
my mom knew though, like these two together.
Nah,
like,
ain't gonna work.
Like we fed off each other, dude, and he taught me how to be aggressive and how to like stand up for myself and like not take any crap.
Sometimes you need that, man.
And I taught him that, dude, you can just laugh your ass off all the time. Let's just roll and
you don't have to be so serious.
He's the first person like my parents used to have backyard parties and invite everybody, and then they would always have kegs of beer, and then the next morning they would say, hey, sweep up and we'll give you $10. So
they go and clean everything.
Oh, my parents are always hungover after these parties, but there was still a half a cake, dude.
That's so funny.
12 years old, dude. We were doing cake.
Oh, because there was some left. Did your parents know?
No, that's the first time I got drunk with him.
You're like cleaning.
Yeah, cleaning, and he was like, come
dude.
here. Oh yeah, do another one. And back then, like 2 or 3 sips, dude, and you're like,
oh, that's funny, dude. Yeah, man. So I was driving down the street, and I'm about to hit the AM PM, and I'm stuck in traffic, red light, and there's a zillion cars in front of me, and I see this guy crossing the street, and I'm like, oh, dude, I know that guy. I rolled down my window quick. I was like, Bobby, what's up? Bobby was like my road dog, man. He was like the guy that like we had a couple scuffles and he had my back, dude.
Yeah.
There's always that one friend. I never forgot that, man.
Yeah, there's always that one friend.
I never forgot that. And it was such a big school and the kids were so big that like you felt comfort in knowing that you had somebody there for that to back you up.
Yeah.
And even if you both got your lickings, you know, like at least you know he did it with someone else. Like you got it with someone. It wasn't just you by yourself, you know. He came up to the window to my car.
Said he goes like this. Got a buck.
No. He was cool. He was like happy to see me. I was happy to see him. And he goes, dude, like what's up? He looked the same, to be honest, and he still lived in the same house.
That's crazy, right? Because we can recognize like guys who we've gone through like like grade school together and be like, that's freaking Bonzo right
whatever,
there.
Yeah, and
that's crazy, dude.
And I go, what? I was like, where you at now? And he goes, because the light was still red. And he goes, oh, I still live. And he points back, and he lived in the same. It was like literally across the street, corner house. He said, I still live there with my parents. And he goes, dude, what's up? What are you up to? He's like, why are you driving this car? You know? And I'm like, oh, you know, I'm in business with my father and, you know, doing some stuff. I told him what I was doing and stuff, you know? And he was like, hey, man, it's so good to see you. I said, oh, good to see you too. Long story short, right? And I drove away, like, across the street. I drove away. I haven't seen him since. But I drove away, and I was just thinking, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know. Like, I know that feeling. Like what if I would have been me, or what if I?
It just seemed like
you imagine all that time passed.
Yeah, we were just like a lifetime apart.
Yeah.
And as much as like it was so awesome to see him, it was really cool. But it like almost broke my heart a little bit. Like I don't think he like. I don't know. I don't know what he's up to now. Hopefully he's doing well. God bless him. But it just left me with that feeling. Like I was driving away, and it just felt like, man, there's just a huge gap there.
Yeah, well, there it is, because you probably were attached. You know, that's an age where you'll see this with your kids, dude, as they get to that age. That's the age where you bond really tight with people. Yep. And that's why most of these kids, if they're lucky enough, they go through kindergarten on up to whatever and go to school with each other.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's a big thing.
Yep. Yeah, I've always heard like having your kid go to the same, like just that stability, right? I mean, it makes a difference.
So I think that was one of the things with Shane. He did that. He had a couple really close friends all the way up through middle school and high school. They all went to school together. So he had a good thing. But Andy, we were still so young and we moved a couple times. So there was a couple breaks in his friendships there. And it was really hard for him to figure it out, like in high school. But a good thing he was athletic and he figured it out, you know. But yeah, I couldn't imagine if you're just like.
But then, you know, after that, I was in Santa Fe Springs. Then after Santa Fe Springs was awesome. It was cool. Middle school in Santa Fe Springs was like a real middle school.
Where'd you go to high school?
Santa Fe High.
Santa Fe High.
Chieftains.
Black and gold?
Black and gold, baby.
Yeah, I know that area right there.
That's crazy that you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, black and gold, man. Yeah, we were one of the last campuses that was still an open campus. So if you were, I think, sophomore and above, you can go out and eat and whatever and come back later, you know?
I didn't worry about that.
Now it's all gated up. And
I used to sneak out in high school. Go.
Yeah, no, it's...
So I just went here in Fountain Valley, the Los Amigos. It's the other high school from Fountain Valley.
Los Amigos is nice, though.
Los Amigos is a little school. It's tiny compared to everywhere else. It was a good school. I love that school. I love the people there. You go back now, and there's probably about 15 people that I went to high school with that are teaching.
Working?
Stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that are all teachers and really good teachers.
That's really cool.
My buddy Larry Isaacs, Chrissy
You suck at last names.
Montez. Yeah, Montez. I do suck at...
Montez, or is it
Montez. Whatever, however you say it. Whatever.
I'm
whitewashed, bro.
I'm kidding, man. I'm messing with you. No, I mean, so Santa Fe Springs, and then, after middle school in Santa Fe Springs, went to high school. We moved over to Huntington Beach. Then I was there for a while with my parents, and then I bought my own place in Huntington, lived there for 5 years, and then got married, and then moved out. And moved with my wife.
I never went too far, dude. I Yeah, I grew
Huntington
up,
Beach is beautiful, dude.
I grew up like Santa Ana is where my grandparents lived, and I told you the story about how we bought that house from them. But I was right there between Garden Grove,
But that's kind of considered like an outskirt of Santa Ana, right?
It is out. It's right on the borderline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But yeah, it's borderline Westminster, Garden Grove, and then but when I went to high school in Fountain Valley, I was like, I want to live in Fountain Valley. I want a big house in Fountain Valley. So me and my wife went to Los Amigos. Half of her family went to Los Amigos. Half of my uncles.
You probably see a ton of people you still know. I mean, like from back in the day.
I can go around and anywhere around here and probably run into somebody I know.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I'm local.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, no, I just, like I said last time, I was just like, dude, I do everything here. I literally just sleep at home and everything's over here.
But you know what's
even
crazy?
My wife works in Orange County.
Well, that's kind of cool. Yeah. Where does she work? I know she works at Kaiser, but where does she?
Yeah, she works in she works in the clinical therapy.
Yeah, but Anaheim,
yeah,
Irvine.
Yeah. Anaheim.
Anaheim facility.
Yeah, Anaheim facility.
That's a great facility. That's where I had a couple surgeries. I had a great surgeon there. Yeah, so I know the facility.
Yeah,
well.
And so like it just feels like I said, at some point we just gotta pull that trigger and head back.
You will in time, dude.
Yeah,
time. You got a wife that'll pull that trigger for you.
Hey, especially after all this like COVID closures and stuff, like it set us back a little bit, man. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You know,
I can imagine.
Yeah, so we just have to make the adjustment.
You'll do it. It'll happen.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm not complaining, man. I'm not complaining. But it does matter where you go to. Like, if you have the ability to go to a better school district or go to a better school, better neighborhood, those small things are really big things when you're older. So
one of the cool things, as a kid growing up in kind of the same neighborhood as like generations of your parents and stuff, my summers were cool, dude. Yeah, great growing up.
Summer is always cool, man.
Yeah, but I had like lifelong friends, that to this day, still live in our neighborhood and really fun, dude.
I just got like a flood of memories right now from summer.
See, that's
it's like
what I'm
made me
saying.
smile.
That's why I was like,
dude, watch. So I mentioned before, like a while back, like on one of our old podcasts when we used to do them in the office. That I was like at this, I was in that program, the lunch program, where you get like a ticket, like a certain amount of tickets, and you turn them in and you get food.
Tater tots, fat kid problems, dude.
Tater tots are so gross.
Listen, fat guy problems. I could do lunchtime tater tots any
dude, it's
day,
so disgusting.
Still to this day.
Gross,
still to this day.
The reason why I say they're so gross because like I remember all that food and it's just like, dude, chalupas.
All processed food.
The only thing that was good was like those little milks. The like you would like push the side and then like open it.
I used to be like, I don't like the white milk. I want the chocolate milk.
Nah, I get the white milk, man. The white milk is the best.
I would trade my milks.
So like, all right. So summertime, there was this.
You ever trade your milk?
There was this park, Veterans Park, really close to our house, and so you could go there at a certain time, and you can ask for a free lunch.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was good. Like it was like sometimes they'd barbecue, so sometimes there was burgers and
really?
dogs, and then sometimes it was like fried chicken or chicken or whatever. Nice. You know what I mean? Like grilled chicken, and it was for anybody in the neighborhood. So you just had to show your city ID. And you would eat for free. So all summer, remember, I was in tracks. Remember? A, B, C, D track or whatever.
Oh, that's right. So my summer,
my summer was so long.
Oh, cool.
It was like a 3 to 4 month summer or something crazy. And so we'd go to Veterans Park every day. They had an arcade there. And if you, like I said, if you showed your ID, you could go in there. So then all the neighborhood kids were there. All the people that you would see at school that...
from the other neighborhoods.
Yeah, like for me, it was cool because there was a lot of people that I did get along with. Remember, I told you I was rolling deep, So I'd go there and like I'd see them there, play some arcade, get some free food, play some sports. We were in soccer and stuff. So summertime was cool for me, man.
Oh man! So growing up where I lived, we had houses and everybody knew their name, but Judy had a pool. This is why I say I want a pool. Dude.
So Judy was popular then?
Judy was popular. Judy knew how to work it, dude. She was like, yeah, anybody can come in, but you got to ask me to open it up. And
oh, so Judy's a grown-up?
Yeah, a lady. She owned a house. She was single.
Got it. I thought Judy was like one of your friends.
No. She's just a neighbor.
Right on.
And but people, and the ultimate hustler, I told her, hey, I mow my parents' grass and my grandmother's grass during the week. If you give me the key to the pool, I'll mow your grass for free too.
So that means you had access to the pool. Oh, that's pimp.
I was like, I was doing everybody's lawn anyway, so I might as well do hers. It was right next door to me. And
keep on going.
Yeah, just keep going. Exactly.
Instead of stopping there, you just walk a little bit more.
Yeah, make a line down the other side. Make it look huge. Nice. And she was like, "Oh yeah, that's awesome. Oh, dude." So everybody knew I had a key, so it was
it made you real popular.
So it was like, get a knock on my door. And like some of the younger kids, Gary, you want to go swimming?
What do you got for me?
No, I was always getting the little kids, but like I waited for
you became the kingpin.
I was a little bit of a kingpin until somebody caught on what I was doing, and then they were like, "Oh, I got a key too." And I was like, "Oh, you suckers!" But I was the first one, and she trusted me, so there was times I go.
But you can't do that no more.
No. It's a liability.
Yeah, it's a monster liability, man.
It's a liability.
Like when we moved into our house, the neighbors. Actually, my neighbors are super cool. Both neighbors on each side are awesome. And I had told them before, like when I moved in, like, oh yeah, just let me know. You guys jump in the pool and stuff. And honestly, luckily, they never took me up on it because now that I think about it, it's like, dude, it's such a huge liability. If something happens.
Yeah.
I just, so no, we don't do that. And then we put up the gates and all that stuff. And so, yeah, man, it's just crazy what you used to get away with, right?
Yeah, it was cool though, because she had rules. Like you had to have had.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah,
man.
I know, but
it wasn't like it is now though. Like everybody's so trigger happy on lawsuits and stuff.
She was cool because her claim to fame is her son was in No Doubt, or her nephew was in No Doubt.
Oh, really?
So we would see them around the neighborhood every once in a while. So that was pretty fun.
Oh, that's nice, man.
Yeah, I didn't know who they were. I was like, these annoying people. I just want to go use the pool.
Yeah, so summertime, standing in line to get a lunch, a free lunch. That was fun, man. I know it sounds like it's not fun, but it is. Like we'd stand in line to get a free lunch, and I'd usually be there with one of my cousins or my brother, and just fool around, And
that was fun.
Just talk smack to each other. Ride our bikes there, ride our bikes back.
So that's
when we can play outside and not worry about getting like kidnapped and stuff.
Dude, we used to take the bus from my house because it used to run right past my house, and just take a transfer and then go straight down to the beach.
Dude, there used to be a Hostess right in the corner. So Veterans Park.
Hostess bread.
Yeah, dude.
Those are the best.
So let's say this is.
Dude, you're talking to me now. I know those exactly.
I don't know. Like I'm telling you, I'm just getting these like thoughts now. So let's say this is the park, right?
Those are the best stores, and I don't know whatever happened to them. Dude, and they need to bring them back.
Somebody needs to bring those back, man. So this is the park, right? This square or rectangle, and then so you walk at the end of the block, right in the corner, intersection, and then we had to take this intersection and go to my house. On that intersection was a huge Hostess distributor. So it was like a huge warehouse going down like this.
And they had the storefront.
And they had the storefront as well.
Yeah.
So you would never go there and not find something because it was an actual distributor hub. So they had everything all the time. Twinkies, the devil, what do you call the ding dongs, what are those cupcakes? Oh, those things were awesome. The cupcakes with the little swirl on top. Yeah. Those things were so awesome. Man. And then they had the
cupcake. There's the Hostess cupcake.
Yeah, but they used to also sell those God, what are they called? They're like these
the pink ones.
The Dutch. No, like they're filled in the middle with like fruit or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Those are all that stuff, dude. They're so good, man.
Dude, so we used to have one of those, and
it was so cheap too.
It was dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Well, because what it is, those stores, they had them up until just a few years ago. And what it is those stores.
Yeah, I saw in the news when they closed them.
Yeah.
It broke my heart.
Is just, they go to the stores and they take off like a couple days old stuff and then would take them to their stores.
Oh, is that what it's for?
Yeah. And then they would, or it was a secondary bag.
Dude,
the bag
Twinkies.
Dude.
What about those chocolate ones that were like Twinkies, but chocolate version? And then I don't know what they're called.
But Twinkies, okay, so, dude, fat guy problems.
Gancitos.
To this day, dude. So my mom would pack my lunch.
Have you ever had a gansito?
Yeah, it's almost like
It's like a strawberry chocolate and cream.
Yeah. It has a little duck on there.
Yeah, my man.
I know.
Oh, what's up?
Fat kid.
I want to bring you one now. All right, go. I'm sorry, interrupting the story.
So check this out.
We're getting too excited about this.
Oh man, you're making me hungry too. I literally would like go, and my mom she'd be like, because we couldn't afford to go to the store and get those stuff, but she'd go, we can go to the Hostess store and they have them on sale, on discount. Dude, I would come out of there like it was Christmas.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Little chubby kid.
Big old smile on your face.
Dude, my go-to.
Little twinkle in your eye.
So my mom would pack my lunch. A bologna sandwich.
Hey, bologna was so good when you were a kid. Why?
Yeah.
Why is bologna so good? You know which one was the best one? So it's like the ring, right?
Yeah.
And then you take that whatever. What's that red thing around it? You would take it off.
Oh yeah.
You don't remember that? A bologna slice.
Yeah.
And then you would take off this. I don't.
No. It's just how they used to make. They used to make bologna like sausages, dude. So that red ring was just a part of the.
I don't know why, but we would always get that brand for some reason. But we take. That was like the best bologna ever.
Dude, that was fried bologna, dude. It's like fat guy problems. So she would make me this, dude. This is my lunch for like 15 years, dude. Bologna sandwich. Thermos, because I had a thermos, right? We all had a little thermos. Well, I did at least.
I used to have a little lunch pail before.
Yeah, lunch pail with the thermos.
Like that was kind of in when we were kids.
I had a Star Wars lunch pail, and the thermos was filled with Hawaiian punch.
Dude, you got hooked up.
And then my mom would put a ding dong and a Twinkie in there. I'm telling you, dude.
Wait, Hawaiian punch.
A bologna sandwich.
Bologna sandwich. Oh my Lord.
People would look at me. But the coolest thing is if I really just wanted to upgrade, I'd be like, who wants?
Yeah. You could always trade those up, man.
And I was like a little pimp. I would like save my ding dong for later.
Hey, ding dongs were high value, dude.
Yeah, they were high value, and I would save it. Next thing you know, for the week at the end, I had like 5 ding dongs. Buck. People would buy them, dude. People would buy them. I make $5 for the week.
And then you can get a whole box at the Hostess.
In the 80s, dude, you go get all your Twinkies. And oh man. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Hey, but that place, I'm telling you, the Hostess shop.
So then, shoot up till I was 25 years old. So I'm there, and I'm working at this I'm running a carpet company. I was doing sales, and I'm running the place, and I'm in Fullerton. But here's our shop, and right on the corner was a Hostess place. I would go in there, and I knew the girl at the front, and I'd flirt with her a little bit. She was a big gordita, dude. She was a heavy hitter, dude. And I'd be like, "Oh, what's up?"
I'm sorry, Kathy.
Hey, man, anything for a ding dong, dude. Come on. And she would just, we'd chit chat, whatever, and she would find me the boxes that were damaged, and she would go, here for like $5. I get a couple boxes, dude. I was rolling back then. She was hooking me up with ding dongs. She loved Big G right here, dude. I'm telling you, dude.
You're ridiculous,
but
man.
Then I left that job, but the coolest thing is when I started working in the grocery business and I started working with Pepsi, I got to go to those places all the time.
Yeah, but that's a problem, though.
That's what I'm saying. Fat guy problems, dude. That's my next podcast.
Oh man, you know what the other cool thing was in summertime? Like straight up, like ice cream, man. How did you know that? Man. And then you hear the music down the way, and then so our ice cream man, he's still alive. I saw him.
Damn, you remember your ice cream man?
Dude, Tony.
Oh damn,
Tony! That's what we do.
That was his hood.
He had a pink ice cream truck. It was a tiny one, a little one, and dude, he's still driving the same vehicle. I saw him like a month ago, and I was driving. I rolled down I saw him like a mile away. I was like, this is impossible. It cannot be the same man. I was like, it's got to be a son or something. I put my window down and I yelled as hard as I could. And I was like, sway my hands, Tony! And he turns around and he goes, he didn't know who I was, but he knew that it was someone that knew him.
Well, yeah, he's been around forever.
So he knows it's one of the kids or whatever, and he just kind of looked out.
He's ghetto fabulous, dude.
He's like this like little like Asian man, always smiling.
Oh,
dude,
really?
That guy, dude, it's like, I get a little knot in my throat. There's times where he'd stop, like we tell him to stop, right? And obviously you tell him to stop, the ice cream will stop because they're gonna sell you ice cream. Well, there'd be times where they'd stop, and then they'd kind of back up. And then the kids will start ordering, and then I'm still standing there, and he'll look at me. What's up? What can I get you? And he didn't say a lot of English words. He just like what he needed to do his business,
Did he hook you up?
And he'd be like, "You pay me later."
Those are good people. I love when that happens. Yeah, I used to have it a lot, and that's cool. That's
real
cool,
man.
So here, hey, dude, this will top you. So growing up, there's little colonias all around Orange County, and half my family belong to all of them. But my Torres family, my mom's family, is from La Colonia, Anaheim. Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a gang.
It's pretty. Ask Brian DeVore about
Are you serious?
La Colonia, dude, and he'll be like,
"Don't go there.
Don't go there."
Yeah.
And I got good driving stories in there too. So I would go summertime, dude, and my Aunt Belle, she would have me up, and she had a raspado machine.
Oh, nice.
She
some tamarindo?
Yeah, dude, she would make them all right there in her garage and sell them to the kids.
What's tamarindo in English?
Like almost like a tangerine, maybe.
No, it's like I gotta look it up now.
Yeah, but she had all the syrups, and she could make snow cones or whatever the heck you wanted, dude. Put the ice in there. Oh, man.
Dude, that's sick.
And we would just go there just for that, dude, and go there.
But she sold them?
And she sold them, but, to her family.
Yeah, right. She'll hook you up.
Yeah. But she would sell them for like 50 cents to the kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And
it's like that red syrup or that blue syrup.
Yeah. She passed, and she was getting rid. Her kids were getting rid of a bunch of stuff, and my mom said, "Don't get rid of that snow cone machine."
Oh, it has history,
dude. She got the snow cone machine, and she brought the tradition to my house.
You're kidding.
By the time I was like 13 years old.
Oh, then you were really getting hooked up.
I was making raspados like crazy.
You give one, you take
every
one.
Every day. Like,
yeah, man. Like, so we get our ice cream, right? And they had these. I don't know if you remember this. They had these like planes that were like made out of like.
Oh yeah, the foam.
Yeah, like the foam, and they had some wood ones too. But those were $1.
I know what you're talking about.
The foam ones were 50 cents.
I used to get the Mexican tops.
Yeah. Okay. So we get that, and then we give them 50 cents for the foam ones, and I'd always get one for my brother, and when my brother get ice cream, he'd always get one for me. 2 birthdays ago, my brother got me a present.
Oh, nice.
And it's like he made it look all nice and stuff. I opened it up.
It was the airplane.
And it was one of the airplanes.
That's a good present. Yeah, that's
sick.
Cool.
It was super sick. Dude, I lit up, man. It was like, oh, dude.
So
Tony, man. Dude, the ice cream man. God bless that guy.
I used to buy, like, I was a little salesman, dude. I learned it from my cousin, Jimbo. Dude, that guy could sell whatever. He ended up becoming a promoter for Dub Show.
Oh, really?
Dub Magazine.
Yeah.
But he could sell like crazy, dude. He was the only kid I knew that in the 6th grade a taxi would pick him up because his mom got him a work permit to work in her shop at the same time.
You're kidding?
Yeah, no, because it was a family business and you can do that with your kids.
So he'd get home from school
and go to work. Only half day. And
dang.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
And it's for family businesses and stuff like that thrive off of having family work for him. And he would get picked up. But he was always balling, dude. He always had money.
Ah, well, he was working.
At sixth grade, dude, he always had like some change on him. And he'd go like this. Dude, he was a little pimp too. He'd be like, dude, ice cream man's right there. Let's buy all his like planes or buy all his tops. Whatever the little toy that was in at that time, And he go, and that guy will leave, right? And then we'll sell him to the neighborhood, dude. We'll put a little markup. He knew markups and everything. I was like,
how old was he?
He's younger than me. So I'm probably 2 years younger than me.
Hey, a little hustler, man.
He was a hustler, dude, but taught me how to hustle. And he was always got me on a thread. He was like, dude, check it out. I'm going to spot you $5.
He was a loan shark.
Yeah. And you're going to pay me back like 30%.
So now he's working his money too.
And I had no money. So I was like, dude, $3. Yeah. For $5, I'll take 3. Yeah. Sure. I'll do it all day. You know, and we made a little, dude. We used to do that stuff all the time.
Crazy.
Had a lot of fun doing that.
Summers are fun, man.
Summers are fun. The other thing is I remember playing in the sprinklers, dude. I was a big time sprinkler player.
So when I was growing up,
I didn't have a pool.
So when I was growing up, the slip and slide. Do you remember that slip and slide?
I do. So
they were really like famous, and like they sold them like at Toys R Us or whatever. They were too expensive for us. So you know what we would do?
I'll tell you what we did.
We used to get black bags.
Yeah.
The big ones.
The big trash bags.
And then we'd put them together, one on top of another, across the grass, and you'd make it pretty long, you know. And when you wet them, they get real heavy on each other, so they stay together. And then you put soap.
Yeah.
And if you were rich enough to have sprinklers, and you turn on the sprinklers with the soap, and then you do it as many times as you want. We had a water hose, so we would water it down, put the soap on, and then every now and then hit it with the water, and then, dude, you slide like
having a dad in construction, and half the neighborhood is in construction. They had those big rolls of plastic.
Yeah.
So we would the dad would
like
be
the ones that you used to like prepare for painting, right?
Yeah. And some dad would be like, here's a big roll. Sick. And we would use it for.
And then all the kids would use it.
Yeah. And we would roll it out, and we'd roll it out from like 5 or 6 lawns, dude. And then we would turn on their sprinklers, our sprinklers. We get neighbors pissed at us because we break their sprinklers. But dude, we would have like this.
That was so fun. It was so fun.
And then what happens is you get a trash bag. You put soap down, like you said. Car wash soap works great, or dishwashing soap. Yeah,
dishwashing soap.
And,
that will last longer.
You get the trash bag though, and you use that so you don't get all scuffed up. And then you go forever. Oh man! Oh, that was fun. We used to have water fights.
You guys refined it a little bit. We were a little rougher on it.
We used to have water fights, dude. And whatever we could find, water balloons, anything, cups, buckets, and we would just have street across the street. Water fights. I remember, dude, one time we were going, and Stacy, my really good friend that I grew up right next door to my whole life, she's like my sister. She comes out, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you," and she swings the bucket, throws it, and breaks my nose right there.
You're not supposed to throw the bucket.
No, she didn't really throw it. She was throwing the water.
Oh, but it went.
But I was closer than she thought, and it just sliced me open right there. And then just, I was like,
that's not a good day. You know what else is really cool about? So like it was actually springtime. So it's like from springtime to summertime. It's just all good memories, man. Yeah. But like springtime, so we used to live close to some train tracks. Okay. Nice. And so we knew that the springtime, like after the rains, on each side of the train track, there's
you're like boys in the hood, dude.
There's like these huge
train tracks. Dude.
There's these huge like divots, like really big, like kind of like trenches.
Yeah.
And they would get full of water.
Oh, really?
And the water would last. The water would last a long time, and it was notorious for like. So every time we'd go after the rains, we knew this already. It was like every single year, my brother and I, my cousin Brian, would go over. So we'd walk over, or we'd just jump over the wall to go through the train tracks, and we just follow the train tracks, and then you get to that point. And there was a bunch of tadpoles in there. Always a bunch of tadpoles. And so what we do is we get buckets. So I'd carry a bucket, my brother a bucket, and Brian a bucket. And we get a bucket of them, and then we take them back to the house. And then we had this huge, like it's kind of like a kiddie pool, but just like a thicker version of it. And we'd pour them all in there, and we wouldn't let them escape. We'd watch them grow, dude. So like that, the following weeks, we'd watch them go from tadpoles to growing out the little legs. To like, damn. And then like it's funny because then during summertime we'd have a crap load of frogs all over our yard, dude. It would be so fun. No, it was cool. Then we'd grab them, we'd put them in our pockets, and then we'd throw them at each other and stuff.
My mom would always say, "You're gonna get warts."
No, we had frogs all the time, and it was really cool because I would take the frogs. There's a stage where they get super cute, man. They're like that big. It's like a complete,
I've seen them, and they have like a little tail.
Yeah, it's a complete frog, but they're tiny. I'd take them to school, man, and like show them off and stuff. Oh, it's so fun, man.
That's funny.
Yeah, I was in Commerce right there, the train tracks, man.
Dude, you saw my dad's backyard is huge, right?
Yeah.
So back when we would find golf balls, anything. So right behind my mom and dad's house was where nuns live. What is that?
A convention?
No. Anyways, convent. It was a convent.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
convent.
Convent right behind our house. Orange Diocese owned it.
That's a big property too, I believe.
Oh, it's absolutely
huge.
It goes it goes on forever. And it's huge. Yeah. They used to have Rottweilers back there and they keep all the gangbangers out from jumping over the fence.
Rottweilers. It's like a thing.
Yeah. And so what we would do is take baseballs or any ball we wanted to get just demolished. Yeah. And we would get them and we'd either use a golf club or a bat and see how far we could hit it, right? Right? And then in the backyard of my mom and dad's house, there's this statue of the Virgin Mary, and we used to hide behind it.
On your side or their side?
On my side.
Oh, okay.
No, this is real Catholic right there, dude. We got
that's hardcore. You guys have a Virgin Mary in your yard? I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah, it's in my backyard. Yeah?
Do you light candles to it?
It used to. Yeah. It used to have candles all over it.
That's hardcore.
Yeah.
Do you have a tattoo of a Virgin Mary on your chest?
Oh, right here, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Por vida. What you call it?
I was giving you a little love there.
So I would watch. We would watch. Okay, say, duck, I'm going to hit it. And you just look over the fence, right? You just look over it, and you watch how far it goes. Mm-hmm. So one time I'm standing there, and my buddy Mike orders like, I'm going to slam this. I'm going to hit this golf ball so hard. It's going to go so far. Stay right there. You know, he was always like the bully. And he goes like this, and he swings, and he drives it. Doesn't get any air, dude. It hits me right in the back. Boom! I was out there. And all these fools just jump over the fence and go home. Dude, it left me there like,
Oh, man, that's awesome. Oh, that's funny. Oh, man. Oh.
But...
We're laughing hard. It's like hot too, but it's just good. It's a good.
With that backyard was notorious. So they used to have Rottweilers back there, right? And we'd play football in the backyard, and all of a sudden the ball would go over the fence.
You're not getting that back.
Everybody was like, "Who's going over? The Rottweilers are way over there."
Oh, you're kidding! It's like Sandlot, dude.
So yeah, but we would do it purposely on certain people. Like,
so they have to go over.
Look at how far they are. Look how far they are. They don't even see the ball.
Hey, straight up though, that's dangerous.
Then we go like this. We go. Go.
Boom.
Grab the ball, and all of a sudden you hear the dogs.
And they shoot towards you?
They start coming, booking towards us.
You guys are playing.
And then jump over the fence.
You guys playing chicken with the devil, man.
Guess who can't jump fences? We always thought these dogs were going to kill people, right? They're like, Gary, you haven't done it. It's your turn. You need to go.
Come on, man. Well, why would you go knowing you can't jump a fence, man?
And they knew this, dude. They were like, they put a little ladder. That's what they did. They put a little ladder, like a little step stool, like a bucket or something. They said, just jump on that and jump over.
You had no chance.
We'll grab you.
You had no chance.
No, dude. I was a little chubby kid. Couldn't hold his own weight up, you know.
What, tater tots in your pocket and Twinkies on the other side.
And of course, like the little rebel in me, they're like, you're start calling me names.
Right.
All right, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. Ball's over. Of course, they throw it extra far, dude. I was like tempted, like, screw that, I ain't going. I was like, I'll do it.
Extra far.
Dogs weren't even looking, dude. I jumped over. It was all stealth. They didn't even notice that I was there. Yeah. So this is...
So you got soft feet.
I was like, I know, dude. I was so scared, dude. And I creep up and I grab the ball and I'm like, I'm going to make it back without having
to like mess with the dogs.
Yeah. I grab the ball and I'm like, I'm going to make it back. And I look over and they pull the bucket.
Oh, that's not cool, dude. That is not cool.
And they're standing there. Not cool. And I'm like, I'm trying to be quiet, but I'm also starting to cry.
You're freaking out?
Because I'm freaking out. And I'm trying to be quiet. I'm looking for the dogs. And
especially if it was like the Sandlot where it's that massive, like...
That's what it felt like, dude. It felt like that. And all of a sudden I go, and David and Michael, the guys, like I said, they're there. They start banging on the wall. All of a sudden the dogs turn.
Dirty.
And I was like, just start running, dude. I throw the ball over the fence.
I love how you saved the ball.
I throw the ball over the fence, and I just
You just hit the wall? Pull me up.
And they let the dogs come, and I'm like trying to throw my leg up. The dogs were almost there, and they just grab me and pull me over.
Oh.
But the dogs, I found out later, I was like, screw this. These guys are going to terrorize me. I go over. I see, they got fake. I go over, and I knock on the nun's door. I'm sorry, you know. And they're Spanish nuns, so they could barely understand me, and they got mad at me because I didn't speak Spanish. And so I was like, sorry. But then I would go over periodically and just offer
You got to know them.
Yeah, I got to know them. So I was like, our ball comes over all the time. Can you get our balls? We have oh yeah. And they brought us a thing full of balls, dude. Oh, all the kids over here, throw them over. And the dogs bring them and leave them over here. And, oh, you want to meet the dogs? So I went. I went. They sniffed me, did whatever. So the next time the thing went over, they're like, who's going to go? I was like, I'll go.
And they were probably like, yeah.
They were like, yeah, we're going to see this fat kid run again. I got jumped over, and they were like, roo, 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 roo. But all of a sudden they came up to me, and I just stopped. And they were like,
what's going on? You're the dog whisperer.
They looked at me like I was,
what's going on?
What the hell are you just doing? He just tamed the dog, petting him. I walked out the front gate.
That's funny. Oh, man. That's good.
I have all kinds of stories like that, dude.
Hey, dude.
I had good times in summer.
Yeah, summertimes were cool, man.
Spin the bottle. So one time, dude, my dad was, my mom goes, look at all the trees. Santa Ana wasn't cutting their trees. And they were like, no, they're fine, you know. And my dad goes, screw it, let's have a party and have the neighbors all get together and we'll trim our own trees, you know. Which was cool, right? You think. Somebody complained, dude. And they put my dad in cuffs because he was the trees with malice. All the men in the block were in cuffs because he almost cut all the trees down, dude. It was hilarious. The wife's like, I told you. All the wives are like, I told you so. I told you.
So what happened?
The cop was cool.
Did he go to jail?
No, the cop was cool. He was just scared.
Scared him.
And he's like, what
you can't do that nowadays, though, dude. The city will put like a lien on your property and take your property away.
The city can.
Yeah, they could, dude.
And you know, they gave him a warning. And all that, dude. It's like,
I'm burning up here. I think we should end this one. Hey, man, this is cool. Reminiscing about summertime.
Summertime. We didn't even get through all that.
I know we have so much left, but you know what? It's cool, man.
Yeah.
Like we were just talking on that one, man. We have some good summertime stories, man, and it's part of that growing up and kind of way we did.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it, man. Nothing wrong with it at all. I got to keep remembering to keep my mouth on the...
That's cool. Whatever. We're learning.
I
love you, brother, man. Thanks for the time that you spent here with me. And this is cool, man. This is fun.
Yeah. Good to see everybody.
I hope you guys enjoy some of our stories out there, man. I know some of them are kind of crazy. And
hey, I've been told by a couple people,
share
the story. So I got stories 4 days. So
hey, remember, guys, we're rebuilding from the closures of 3 months. Spread the word. Let them know that we're here. We have an awesome facility, 6,400 square feet. We have 31 instructors. We have all been together anywhere between 5 and almost 15 years. So we've been teaching for a long time. We know our stuff. Get in here. Check it out. Get to do some free classes. Spread the word.
Check us out on Facebook, Blackbelt Collective. Also on
Blackbelt Collective Krav Maga.
Instagram, Blackbelt Collective Krav Maga. Abel's working on the website.
Yep. This week. Yeah, man, dude, I suck at it.
So as soon as that happens, we'll throw that out there too.
Yep.
But I'm Gary H72 on IG, Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram, I'm SimpleMan0707. Our landing page for our website is surfcityselfdefense.com. All our information's there, but it's not a full, complete website like we want to do it. So, but it should be up soon, God willing.
If you haven't done it yet, hit like.
Yeah, hit like, subscribe, please. Hey, I love you guys, man. Thank you for the privilege of letting us talk to you a little bit.
Amen. Have a good one. Until next time.